Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Thanks for tuning in to Wind Down Friday. I'm your girl, Author Erica. I have my fabulous co-host with me, Author Kim, today. And today, ladies, is a little bit different. Don't y'all get mad at us. But I think we talk about women's being abused, what women's go through, and everything surrounded by women. Let's talk about the men. And let's talk about the abusers. You know, I kind of find that men that abuse women, as somehow and somewhat in their life, they have been abused, and we have to figure out like this is where they pick this up, and that's still no reason to give them no go pass on putting their damn hands on nobody. But we don't talk about the abusers at all. We don't talk about men, and men go through the same situations that us as women go through too. You know, they deal with their own set of situations. You have some men that's all in abusive relationship. What is like 1 out of 6 men?
1 out of 7.
1 out of 7 men that's are in abusive relationship because they was taught, which all men was taught not to put their hands on women's, but some men really live by that code where they don't hit women, so they end up being in these situations too. So we all go through these situations, not only women, men go through them all the time. It's just the light just don't be shining on men as being in an abuse relationship because some men are what they call
Embarrassed.
embarrassed, they egos, they pride, so they deal with a whole lot of things. Whereas women's, we're much open and we much vulnerable, and we willing to share our story with other women's, but men don't feel that way. And I think if we would have men that come forward to talk about it, maybe we could get this light shine a little bit brighter on men because they need help too, going through domestic violence relationship. And I feel, me personally, I feel like the abusers, why we don't have shelters and programs for the abusers, because somewhere in that situation, for one reason or another reason, they hitting, and they dealing with their own problems because the saying is hurt people, hit people, like
Right,
it's
right,
that
right.
constant cycle. So somewhere down the line, as the abuser, they have seen things that, they will subside to, just like us women. We see things that our mamas went through. What if they
Mm.
seen some of the things that their daddy went through, or even their mamas, because they angry, well, he hit my mama, well, I'm gonna hit the next person, because that's how we think. If you do something to me, I'm gonna do something to you.
Because 9 times out of 10, that's how you were taught.
Right. And that's basically what we trying to do. We're not trying to just downsize our women's, and we're not trying to downplay us women's, but we need to shine a light on these situations because they are real life situations. Men do go through it.
hmm I agree with that. The thing with that is, we as a society, especially in the Black community, um, we like to call them out their names. When you listen to old Uncle Junebug, and he the first one calling you a punk or calling you a sissy because you better stand up to that woman. You don't sit up there and let no woman talk to you like that. But if I was raised different than how Uncle Junebug was, then now I'm weak. So now because you have, oh Lord, what's the word, you have this negative impact on me, to where now I don't feel comfortable enough to even come into Uncle Junebug and saying, hey, this is what's going on, because I know that
What he
me
gonna say?
coming to you ain't gonna do nothing but dog me and drag me through the mud when
Exactly.
I'm asking you for help. And that is a problem that, honestly, that women, men, everybody just needs to change that. Um, you supposed to be any and everybody. We should have open arms. We should listen. You know, you never know what you will hear if you listen.
Right. And listening is important. We just can't we just can't shut everybody out, especially men. I know this guy. He never. I asked him to tell his story, but he was like, "No, Erica, you tell it." Because he was scared, because he didn't want to come forward and say it, because number one, he was embarrassed. He
Yeah.
felt like I'm a hoe, like I'm a bitch ass nigga because I let a girl hit me. And like I told him, you just never know if we get one man to talk about it. We never know how many gonna come. Like it might be just a shitload of them just come about. But his story was basically he was in a relationship with a girl. They went to school together, but they didn't get it was years later before they start dating. And he actually, they got into a relationship, and the first incident she hit him with a board across the back. And he said he just kind of brushed it off because they got into an argument. So he felt like he was wrong, because he cursed her out and pushed her. So when she hit him, he just took it. He didn't say nothing. So years go by. The next incident, she hit him in the head with a pipe.
Oh.
With a pipe. And, he said he didn't call the police. The people next door called the police because they heard argument. And he said, yeah, he was bleeding from the head, but he didn't want to go to the doctor because he felt like it was his wrongdoing, because they was going word for word. And I was like, a pipe. No, brother, like
Right.
you can't get let nobody hit you with a pipe. So he said when they did he went end up, because the police end up making him go to the
Yeah.
emergency room. Like
Hmm.
he said they had to literally make him go to the emergency room. And he said when he got to the emergency room, said it was like, well, you need to press charges on her because that's domestic violence. And he said, first of all, he always thought domestic violence was a man hitting a woman. It
Woman.
was never,
Hmm.
he thought it was the opposite. And he said then they was like, well, you need to do something about her. So he said he just really felt like they was just fucking over her. Like they was just really trying to fuck over her. But he didn't know like the extent behind domestic violence. And he said he was really feeling bad because it was like they was really trying to fuck her around. But he
Hmm.
always wanted to preserve who she was, and maybe she was arguing because she just had lost her mama. And then on top of that, she lost her kids to her baby daddy. So he felt like she just was angry. She was upset.
So he
But
gave her an excuse.
he gave her an excuse for why she hit him with the pipe. So he said he ended up, getting past that situation, and the next situation was bad to where he had 10 stitches because she hit him again in the head with another pipe, but this time he ended up having 10 stitches in his head. And said the doctor was like, the people in the hospital was like, you need to press charges. Even the police was like, you are in a domestic violence relationship. Like, no, she just angry. We had an argument. And the police was like, this is the second time. Like, this is more than just an argument.
Come
You
on.
know, and he said, but he said he was still defending her because he thought because they was just messing over him. But he was like, he didn't realize it until one of his friends was like, damn, bro, you're in a domestic violence relationship. And he was like, no, that's for girls. And he said, no, everybody could be in a domestic violence relationship. And come
Mm.
to find out, he said, like, even after he went back to press charges and talked to the police, but come to find out, she was legally crazy. This heifer had papers on her of just being crazy. So, like, the police told him, even if you don't press charges, it's still gonna be like this big old
Still
road.
documented.
Yeah, because she's
Hmm.
documented crazy. So you have to do something as far as this domestic violence. So he said he ended up doing the paperwork and getting all the pictures and stuff from the hospital because they did take pictures. So he said he didn't know that, men could be in a domestic violence relationship. And he said, and after that, he left her. So I said, well, why you don't talk about it? He said, because you're not no man because you let a girl hit you. I was like, hell, you got hit in the head with a piece of Bible, not a piece of pipe. Like she could have killed you, and then she was hitting you in your head. Like she
That's
really could have
damaging
killed you.
too.
Yeah. And he was like, but I just felt like they was just messing over her. And there wasn't. They was trying to let you know what situation you was in at the time.
Hmm.
And if it
You
was if it
have
wouldn't
to
have been for
receive
your
it.
right, he said, like, my friend was like, bruh, you in a domestic violence relationship. And he said, what the hell you talking about? Men don't
Hmm.
go through that.
Yes, they do, honey.
Yeah, I'm like,
Look, and you did. Show did.
right.
Yeah,
So like they don't, they make excuse for their abusers
they do.
because they are females,
It's a
like they
girl.
make,
Hmm.
yeah, like they make the excuse of, oh, she this and her mama
Well, I
just
mean,
died.
women do the same thing. I mean, they do the same thing. Oh, it was my fault. I shouldn't have just, women do the same thing, but it's a different light when it's, men are the ones that being attacked.
Right. And it's just crazy, I feel like men should talk up more, because it's going on, it's real. Just
It
like
is real.
women's being in a domestic violence is real, but the men, that's real, and only if we could get if we could get one man to just talk up and say, hey, I've
Start
been
talking about it. So that's the thing. It takes one person to talk about it. And of course, um, social media it has its good and it has its bad. And the thing with that is, you have to be able to handle handle the negative, because you automatically know you're gonna get a few brothers and some sisters in there gonna sit up there and call you everything but a child of God, because I did the right thing by not retaliating against her, because if I would have retaliated against her, this would definitely be a different situation. I
right.
mean, and you never know, she might be dead, I might be dead. You know what I'm saying? You never know. It
That's, I mean, it's just hard, I find that
mhm.
it's really hard because how do we reach out, like, what other things that we should do, like, to get them to come forward, because
That's the
if,
thing we would have is, again, we just have to keep being an advocate. Every now and then, like, you might have someone to be like, hey, might say something to you. You could talk about it, but don't say my name.
right,
And I mean, I get that, but the story, I mean, even though I could tell your story, but you could tell your story better. And people can hear the empathy, sympathy, they can hear the emotion in how you tell your story. I can't do that, because it's just, it's like gossiping secondhand.
right.
So, but
It
I
just
don't have a
it become
problem with
hearsay.
telling. Right. And that's the thing. I've had white men tell me that, their wife or their girlfriend, a lot of verbal abuse, not
Okay,
really a lot of physical, but a lot of
right,
verbal. Now, I've had a couple tell me, well, everything is fine until she drinks. And then when she drinks, it's something completely different. So then you're walking around on eggshells, trying to make sure that she don't snap, because in the middle of her snapping, all my little nice china's on the floor.
right.
So, we ain't got time for all of that, but that's the thing, again, I always say, in the black community, we are so quick to judge, and we are so quick to shut everybody down, and then you are made to feel, because I actually side with them or I agree with them, now I'm wrong,
Right. From siding
because
with them.
yes, which I don't understand that.
I mean,
I
help me
mean,
understand that, because I say I feel your pain and you're a guy.
yeah, we, just the human race in itself, we are our own damn worst enemy, honestly.
We
You
are,
know,
because we tend to, as they say, sweep everything under the rug, kind of laugh it off, like, oh boy, that's not nothing. That is some shit. That's a lot of shit, Like
Mhm.
that's the big shit that he needs to be aware of. And like my friend was saying, he was like, he just was like he was stunned because of lack of education about men being in domestic violence relationship. Because like he said, he never heard it. He have always heard it and seen it with his sister. His sister was in a domestic violence relationship, so he always thought it was women's.
The
But
opposite
like I
way.
told him,
Hmm.
no, it's men. And we kind of, went through some shit we found, and he was like, "Wow, he Googled and he was like, it's real. Yeah, it's real. It's not no fake. Men
Mm,
deal with it. Men go through those
mm.
situations. Because I always, when me and my mama talk about it, she was like, my grandma used to beat my grandpa in the head with a meat cleaver. I was like, that's domestic violence. But as you know, back in them days, they didn't really look at domestic violence. They just
They
kind of,
didn't.
they
Mm-mm,
just
they
was like,
didn't.
it was just like something that just happened. And
Hmm.
now you look at it and it's like, damn, my grandpa was going through domestic violence and didn't even know it. And it just,
Well,
I
he
guess
knew
it just,
something wasn't right. It just probably back in those days they didn't have a name for it. And
mhm,
then, because like you said, it's always the opposite. It's
right,
always, the men, putting their hands on the women because of whatever they didn't had.
right.
And they know, that you're vulnerable and they know that they could take it out on you and they do. And then, it just depends on what the situation is. They know they can coddle you back into forgiving
Forgiving him.
and letting it go until it happens again. And I mean, it's the same situation, with, men as well. I I mean, I love you today and turn around and cook you everything and screw you every which way. And then, you did something that pissed
Tomorrow
me
I'm
off.
doing, right.
And then I'm about to come for your head again. See, we, as individuals, we need to love ourselves more.
And
We
that's
we
where it
definitely.
started. Even with men, I mean, I think men have their own set of issues, but like they just don't verbalize it as
Hmm.
much as women verbalize it, and we show it. And maybe because we was born that way to be emotional, caring.
Well, yeah, because girls are taught to be, as I would say, little dainties.
Yes,
We are taught to be girly. We are taught to, we wear a dress, we keep our legs closed. We are taught to be pretty inside and out. That's
out.
what we are
Hmm.
taught. Boys are taught to be tough because you ain't gonna be no punk bitch, as they will call.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna raise no punk ass son. You know what I'm saying? Um, so they are at an early age taught to fight, which they think is cute. They are taught to, you don't share. Everything is mine.
Right.
And
Hmm.
and then they have to realize that as they get older, the older you get, the worse it gets. Because
Right.
then here comes and I mean, verbal can start at an early age.
Hmm.
But as you get older to understand what they're saying to you, so now you have to portray this person that you're not really that person, but because of how you are being raised,
Hmm.
now I have to be tough. You can't sit up here and let no, because it's not just your family, it's some of your friends that should
You
hang
can't
around.
you
Can't
can't
be
let
sitting
that
up
girl
here.
boss you around.
You
You
can't
a
let her do
man.
that.
Yeah.
Where your nuts at, boy? Where your nuts at?
Yeah. You gonna
You
let
ain't
her
got no
push you
nuts.
around? Yeah. When
You
it's
getting
really
in
not
there?
even much that. It's just how they was raised. Like some men are raised not to hit a girl, not to even voice certain things. Men are raised to, like some men be like, okay, whatever. You just do what you need to do, and I'm gonna do what I need to do. And that's
Hmm.
just the way it is. Like they're not taught to hit girls, so they end up in these situations because some girls are taught you don't let no man walk over you. You don't let no man do this to you
Because you know what your daddy did to me. So
yeah,
we ain't gonna sit
because
up.
you the strong one. You know, you don't let him
Mm-hmm.
do this. So, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where some of us women, that's why we come in, you know, controlling the situation of doing those things. That's how those things start when they
Mm-hmm.
control. You know, it's the control thing. And control is, I mean, I find that a lot. You know, control is people want to control you. Why? You know, and that's something that I try to, I don't understand why people feel like you can control another person.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm getting ready, you know. I don't think my son watches this, but if he did, it don't matter. It is what the fuck it is. I didn't raise neither one of my kids, and I have two boys. I didn't raise my kids to, you know, in abusive. You know, we have an open conversation. We, you know, you do right by her, she'll do right by you if you got the
Exactly.
right one. Okay, let me say that.
Right.
If you
If.
got the right one.
Mhm.
Um, and that my oldest son, I watched him go through all these trials and tribulations just with himself in general. And then like now, the current situation that he's in now, um, I I've met her. I've seen the conversations that they've had. I've listened to me and my youngest son has had conversations. And, you know, I've said to him, I said, I think you're in a domestic violence situation, even though she has not laid hands on you.
But the words
But
that come out.
the way she talks, the way y'all can't go nowhere. Like you and your brother can't even go nowhere and she calling you every 15, 20 minutes. That's a problem. If what she needs to do is step back and work on herself, what she needs to do.
Right.
But you know, he was like, well, I think that's kind of cute. In what world?
Well, us girls, we think that's cute too.
Uh, uh, Well, that's not cute. I First of all, I should be able to go to the store without you calling me every 5, 10 minutes,
Exactly.
or you sitting up here telling me, I know you over here off of Johnson Street. Let me tell you something. Y'all better get somewhere and sit down. And I keep telling it. Well, he was like, well, you know, she ain't doing nothing crazy. She doing something crazy.
Yes. Control.
She, and it starts with something simple.
Mhm.
It starts with, like you said, the control, and now, you know, I feel like it's gonna turn into something else, and then it's gonna be one of these oops babies, and then I'm gonna have to deal with this shit for the next 18, 20 years.
Yes.
And
Um,
that's, you know, she already, if you already have a child, that's your business. My son don't have any kids. You know, he's every woman that he's dated in his 20s, they've all had kids already. So, and I mean, that's not a bad thing, but it's all on how, you know, y'all treat each other. And I just don't know what he is missing that he keeps choosing the wrong one.
especially with a child.
Right.
Because, you know, they say something, you know, when people do stuff, it kind of shows you what they're missing. So maybe it
Hmm.
was something, you know, he want the girl with the child because maybe it was something when he was a child and
And see, and
finance
I,
was a
you
problem.
know, I've had these conversations because what is it? Because, you know, you wasn't raised that way. So, what you're lacking so we can fix it, because
Right.
this is not the life that, I mean, even though it's not my life, but this is not the life that I pictured you having. But at the end of the day, it's your life. You're gonna do what you want to do. But I'm telling you the signs of you're in a domestic violent relationship, and if she can sit up here and go to the store and act like you can't check on her, there's a
Right.
problem.
That's the problem.
There's a problem. And you know, with the young folks, I'm not saying old folks don't do it too, but with the young folks, I noticed, you know, we go on a couple of dates and I feel like we meshing well, and now you're my girlfriend in a matter of 2 days.
In a matter of one day.
Girl, I
In
want
a
to say,
matter of one day, you know, they're trying to fucking hook up.
girl,
Like, do you know her color? Like, do you know her favorite color?
right. Do you know what her
Like,
body count is?
exactly. You know, like, do you know if she got crawfish down there crawling? Like, come on, huh? Yeah,
Crawfish.
crawfish. Yeah, crabs, crawfish.
But
The
you know,
whole gumbo fiesta
yeah,
down there.
that's what is nasty. Oh, that's just that just don't even seem like that's
You
gonna.
know.
Ooh.
And then these youngsters, they feel like, and especially young guys, they're like, well, I want to get to know you. Okay, well, get to know me. And then it's like, oh, let me get to know you in the bed. How you
I don't,
gonna
I
how
guess
you gonna
I
get to
mean
know
everybody each his own. You know,
right?
everybody is
Like how
different.
you gonna know her in the bed? Like you trying to see
But
if she got a king or a king queen size bed? Like what you trying to do? And
I mean,
that's
everybody's
not how
different.
you get to know. That's not how you get to know
Right.
nobody.
Well, I guess you got to figure out if y'all sexual compatible before I can figure out if you're mentally compatible.
And once it's, I mean, I feel like once you start involving sex in the situation, it goes left quick because first of all, you didn't get the chance to know that person because you don't know what this is like. This
Mm-hmm.
mental, you don't know what her mental is. You don't know what makes her sad or what makes her happy. You don't know what sets her off, what trigger her. Like you done missed all this because now you done intertwine sex in that situation, and sex becomes the over top everything, and then y'all use this sex as when you fuss. Okay, let's make up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about sex, and then you forget about everything else. You know, you miss a whole lot. Instead of involving sex, have a conversation. Sex gonna eventually come. I mean, I feel like, let's talk. Let's do the talk things that we used to do back in the days. And it's totally different now. It's like sex, money, and talk is last.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, basically, when you done hit with sex, ain't no more talking. It's the talking situation gone. We in a full blown relationship, and when stuff start happening and shit start going haywire, you don't know how to control it because you never got the chance to know that person, really know that person, instead of knowing what she had between her legs. You'd have missed a whole lot of important information that could have helped y'all when y'all in this fuss. Y'all can't. And
Mm-hmm.
then he bashing her upside the wall because you forgot to find out the other stuff that goes along with the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have missed everything because you want some pussy. You don't let pussy rule you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the only, that's the sad part about it is, you don't want to see anybody go through it, especially, well, I mean, nobody, they know, especially just anybody go through it because what it does to you mentally and physically, it's then it's the PTSD behind that you now have to deal with trying to get back on your feet. And then, it's a whole process all over again, trying to see if I'm even able to get into another relationship and try to be trusting and loving because I know the last relationship that I had was not that. And it seems like everybody, what they call the honeymoon phase, everybody goes through the honeymoon phase and oh my God, it's just amazing. We didn't, we have conversations, we doing little things with each other. We had a little mini trip, blah, blah, blah. We having sex and yeah. But then don't lose your job. Don't have a pandemic. Don't have a death. Because then when you have all that, now who you didn't see in the beginning,
It's coming out now.
oh, the real person is coming out now. You be like, wait a minute, what just happened?
Hold on, why you looking like that? The
Girl.
claws coming out, the evil devil head coming out. Like
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
starting to really see who that person is. And
And
like
see
you
the
said, a
thing with that,
pandemic.
yeah,
You have to be home with that person 24 hours a day.
yeah, that's why domestic violence is on the rise.
Because you're in the
Domestic violence is on the rise because of so many situations. People, because you didn't learn about that person beforehand, like you
yeah.
said. So now I'm in this spiral mental roller coaster because now I've lost my job. So now I put the extra pressure on me because I've
Mm-hmm.
lost my job. So how I'm gonna be able to take care of my household, take care of my wife, you know what I'm saying, do X, Y, and Z because now the country has shut down and the government don't give a F about nobody. And they just kind of sprinkle.
Right. And that go another problem because now you and that person, y'all anxiety high because you was working, both of y'all home now. Little Jojo, you gotta school him. So that means
Hmm.
your nerve bad because little Jojo ass ADHD, but
Hmm.
Jojo bad as fuck. So and he ain't listening. So now you it's just all a whole lot of stuff coming on. And now y'all doing this
Hmm.
the whole time you on lockdown because you didn't get the chance to take the time to get to know each other. You involve sex in that situation before you got to know that person.
Hmm.
And I
And
think it's
men
just
and men do think with their penis
they do. That's the
before
first
they
head
think.
they think with.
Because I want to know what. Well, okay, that's a whole nother story. But okay, I just we sorry. Bring it back. Bring it back. It's gonna go. It's gonna go left real quick.
That's what they're doing. They find themselves just like women's. They find
Hmm.
themselves in situations
Hmm.
because you line up there scoring the whole goddamn cycle and you didn't take the time to find out about old
Right.
girl.
You
Old girl
haven't
crazy is a busy
didn't
bag.
the whole. You got to go through the whole 4 seasons. You got to go through all of them. And once you went through the whole 4 seasons, then it's up to you to make the right choice. If this is a good fit, if this not,
If you gonna
don't.
deal with old girl having her bipolar mood swings, and not just the regular bipolar mood swings when we have our cycle. Some women are bipolar, like they got their own goddamn issues. That's why it's important that you get to know a person. And that's how they fall in, just
Hmm.
like us. They fall in, men fall in those situations just like we do,
Hmm.
Um, they giggly giggly. You got men. Oh yeah, that's my girl.
Hmm.
And this bitch is legally crazy.
Like
And
I've
then
had a
you find
friend,
out when y'all just locked down in this house how crazy
right?
she is.
Because everything is gonna go. Everything, everybody's dealing with their own stress within them own selves, and not
Mhm.
just that. Now, I have to deal with your I have to deal with your emotions along with my emotions. Then if we have kids, I have to deal with their emotions. So the woman takes on all of that. And I'm not saying the man don't either, because he takes on some of that too. But then, it gets to the point to where, okay, I'm batshit crazy. And people do things like, I just can't, they have a breaking point. You be like, well, nothing just really happened. They had a breaking point. It was something that was so small and minute that they had a breaking point to where is either somebody gonna die or I'm gonna leave. So it's best for me to leave.
Right.
So, and you hear a lot of that when it comes to these type of relationships that people I just I went to work and I just didn't come back home.
I didn't go that route. That route wasn't in the
Yeah.
plan. Or
Uh-uh.
that road was closed. It was a
Yeah.
dead end.
And I just kept driving.
And I just
Driving. Where's she going? I don't know. I just kept driving wherever I stopped. That's where I ended up at. And we just, oh,
because the
okay.
route to my house had a dead end to it.
Yeah,
They had tore that street up. I mean,
girl.
I think they took
In a
it up
matter
for
of 2 hours.
an hour. An hour after work. So so women don't get it twisted. We not the only ones deal with domestic violence relationship. Men dealing
Hmm.
with it too, but I just wish it would be if a man is watching our video,
Yes.
watching our show tonight. Leave us a comment. Let's talk
Hmm.
about it. Um, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to share what's going on because we have so many other men that we can shed a light on. Give them that voice, just like we give women the voice. Let's start giving some some of these men a voice to talk up. Like, let's talk about it. It's okay to talk about it because, again, we never know
Mm-hmm.
if we could help another man that's in a situation. So, you know, have the conversation. Just drop us a little message at the bottom, even if you don't want to leave it in a comment. Just drop us a little message or even email. You can email me at tudamaxrecords@gmail.com, and you can also email Kim at qualityday1@yahoo. Let's talk
Mm-hmm.
about it. Let's have that conversation. Let's have an open dialogue about it because men think about it. You just never know if another
Mm-hmm.
man or a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
we do have boy teenagers that are in domestic violence relationship too, just as well as girls do.
Yep.
So leave us the comment, email us, and let's talk about it. So we're gonna transition to talk about the abusers.
Okay.
We talk
Ooh.
about we
Ooh.
talk about the
Mm-hmm.
victims, but let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about the abusers because abusers go through they own little shit too, and I feel like we should have programs for people that abuse other people, and
I agree with that,
it's
child.
and it's so funny because some of them see that same situation in
Mm-hmm.
their household. That's why they feel like they have to be abusers.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have some of them, I don't know where it comes from because they don't see it in their house. And I must say, my brother is like that. My brother hit. And no, he know good and goddamn well he didn't see that with Marie and Daddy Boy. So I don't know where he get that from. And I think it's just because he want to be big shot or because I'm calling the shots in the house. So we do have men that don't go through shit. They just feel like they need to be in control. And I don't know, like I say, I don't know where money get that shit from. But he never seen that. And that's only because I know that for a fact because that's my brother. I know he didn't see that from Marie or
Mm-hmm.
Daddy Boy. They didn't do those kind of things. Not drugs. Yeah, you might have seen it from your daddy, but abusive.
But drugs don't. I mean, well, I mean, it can, but that
It
ain't your
can be to
reason.
right to hit. So
Mm-hmm.
you do have people that's are abusers that go through things, and some of them don't. Some of them just feel like I'm the man of the house and I'm gonna control this situation, and you gonna do what I say do because I'm the man of this house,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not fair. That's
Mm-hmm.
not fair. Like don't do that because you have some men do it because they know they can do it and
Yep.
get away with it.
Yep. Yep. That, I mean, it's sad, but yeah, I mean, I know someone who it was taught, and I say why I say it was taught because you've seen it at home.
Wow.
So since you've seen it at home, and of course, we as kids growing up, we're very impressionable. So if daddy says after he done got done slapping mom in the face, don't ever let a woman backtalk you. And when they do, this is what you do. If you are being taught that, then that's what you're going to do.
When you become a
Because
big person,
90% of it starts from home. Whoever you stayed with, whoever it coming, because it ain't got to be mom and daddy. It could be big granny. It could be aunt, uncle. You could have been adopted. You don't. Whoever
some of these boys are raised by the street. The street might have taught you to hit and beat her ass down because you the man. So you gotta control the situation.
you cannot allow a woman to talk to you any type of way, and even though you can talk to me any type of way, I can't say nothing back. I'm supposed to be like the yes, sir. First of all, you not my daddy. Okay, you ain't that.
Right.
So, girl. We ain't
And I
into
mean,
that.
even some abusers, like you said, they taught some not, but some of them feel like I'm just gonna do it. Some just feel like fuck him, I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
do it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and or some abusers are something that some guys are like they hit the see if they gonna get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And once they hit that first, do that first hit,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't do nothing, it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I
So
want,
I can do it again because
yeah,
you ain't gonna do nothing because I have
right.
no
Oh,
consequences for that. Mm-hmm.
behind that hit,
Mm-hmm.
or the next thing is, let me say something. You're a dumb bitch,
Mm-hmm.
and she don't say nothing and react. So now,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I could do this. I could do this, and no consequences behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how some of them are groomed. You have some that try it out and see. Let me try it and see how far I can go with it. And once they know how far they could go with it. Then they become this fucking monster.
Mm-hmm.
You got some, like you say, you have some that's taught. You put her in her place. You beat her down because you the man. You run the show. And then you
Mm-hmm.
got some of them just like control.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they need help. I feel like it's some help needed. We gotta and I haven't found it. I look online all the time. Like they have nothing for abusers.
Well,
Nothing.
we have a program. It's not, it's open for anybody. It's not just strictly, men.
Okay.
But if I see that men are more interested, then I probably will form a program just for that. But because I'm not seeing a lot of that, I can't just sit that aside and say this is what I'm doing. But I do have a program that, you know, it's part of the counseling that you go through. Because it's crazy. Somebody said that it's like how Ayana like breaks everything apart and then tries to build you back up because we're trying to figure out what is it that
Mm-hmm.
made you do what you
That
did.
make you feel like that.
And
Mm-hmm.
if you sit up here and say, well, I didn't see it at home, I never saw it. So the question is, then where did it come from?
Like,
So then
why?
this is why we need to sit down and kind of go through, situations, scenarios, and try to figure out I mean, just what made you do it. I mean,
Like,
I had a call like that, but it was the opposite. She was bored. She was bored. She was bored. They was just sitting there chilling, bored. So she decided to start picking and saying stuff to him. Then she just kind of, low key just kind of went upside his head. So, and what did he do in return? Well, he retaliated because why are you putting your hands on me? And if I'm trying to restrain you, like what's like, because you got to think about it. This is new, so I'm trying to process what you're doing to me and
right.
understand why are you doing this to me because this has never happened. We just chilling, like we chilling.
So
Like
why
let me say it
you
again, we chilling.
nitpicking?
Then all of a sudden you just spaz out, and now you on top of me. So now I got to defend myself and try to figure out what the hell is going on.
All
And
at the
then
same time.
yes. So then you turn around and of course, so he put his hands on you. Okay, you got a few marks. Okay. Then you call me. What you call me for?
Because he hit you. Because he hit me
But what you call me for? Because I side with him. I don't side with you. Because if this has never happened,
before.
ever,
Ever.
and you just decided I just wanted to see, what he would do. Okay, you poke a bear.
And what you think that damn bell gonna do you? Like
I
if
mean,
you
yes,
poke,
he was wrong to a certain extent, but not to
you
the
pick
whole.
that. You
There's
pick
nothing. I'm
that fight.
sorry, because my thing is what you calling me for? Because you ain't gonna leave him now because this has never happened. I just wanted to see. I mean, that was your excuse. I mean, like seriously, I didn't. I was just bored. I just wanted to see what would happen. Ooh.
But girl,
See,
what
this
you
is the
thought?
problem. with the society of today. I ain't
Because
got
we
nothing
want
to
to see
do.
how people we we want to pick at that person to see how they act.
Mhm.
You know, we want to see, is this whole thing up. I want to see how you act. I want to see what you gonna do if I tell you this. Why? I don't know. Like, people bully people on social media. Why?
Why?
Like, did that person do you anything? Because nine out of 10, they don't even know that person.
At all. But you show
Zero.
quick to pass judgment.
Right. All you see is this person on social media, and you don't know this person from a can of damn paint. So why you feel like you had to bully that person?
Hmm.
Now you done bullied this person and you done nitpick with this person,
Hmm.
and the next 2 days later, this person will commit suicide. Why? Because your ass bullied them to that
Hmm.
point. So
Hmm.
now, did you find out what was gonna happen when you bullied somebody? That shouldn't even make you feel good, knowing that you bullied that person and 2 days later that person will commit suicide.
Mm-mm,
It
because it
should make
goes
you feel like
into
a little piece of shit.
it should, but it don't
No,
because well, sticks and stones may break my bones, so you should never be that type of person to where all I was doing it was just talking shit. So that
shit,
just lets
shit.
me know that
You
I
weak
can't
mind,
talk shit with you. So they never take accountability for
right?
what they did, even though you fucked up. But they won't take account. No, that ain't me. I didn't do nothing like that. They did that to them. I didn't put that gun in their mouth. I didn't do
No,
this and I
you
didn't do that.
didn't, but
But
you
you did
embedded
though.
all the goddamn words and you embedded every bullet in that gun
Mm-hmm.
for the words that you said to that person. That's what you did. And
Yep.
I mean, why? Like, why would you bully somebody? Why would you want to nitpick at somebody? Because you don't know. Like, you don't know what people mental health is these days. You don't know what's going on, and even if we didn't have the pandemic, you don't know what people mental health is. You don't know what a person thinking about. So
Mm-hmm.
your thing was, I'm gonna just fuck with this person to see if I can do this. So now that I done got this make me feel macho now.
Mm-hmm.
No, that shit should make you feel like 2 cents,
Right,
because that
right.
person killed themselves because of the things that you say to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And people don't look at it like that. Even like, I feel like it should be programs. I feel like it should be something for abusers, because they hurt too.
Mm-hmm. They do.
They
They
hurt
do.
too. Like, is levels and reasons to everything in life. And I thought about it all the time. Like, they don't have shit for abusers. Like, I feel like they should have counseling. I feel like they should be able to talk about their feelings. I feel like they should be able to talk about everything, because you just never know what they went through in life. And we don't look at that. Like, I guess that makes me crazy, because I look at things like that. But I'm not. Let's look at the big picture. Let's look at why he hit her. Let's
Mm-hmm.
look at what made him want to sexually abuse her, rape her, or beat her down, or say these things to her. Like, let's get in the mind. Let's figure it out.
Mm-hmm. And that's the
Because
thing.
we put him in
We
jail. We're gonna put him
mm-hmm.
in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And now we about to create a bigger
A
monster.
bigger monster.
Because now he pissed off. I'm in jail. This bitch done put me in jail. She done this and she done that. So now
Mm-hmm.
you done gave him 4 years. He done thought about this shit. So now
For
we done
4 years.
for 4 years he had to sit down and think about this. Now,
Mm-hmm.
in them 4 years, did you give him help? Probably not. You probably didn't. So for 4 years he had time to sit down. So
Mm-hmm.
now the release date come.
He more
You know,
madder than ever.
he raging.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think it should be, instead of, yeah, we could put them in jail. I think it should be some rehabilitation. I think it should be some anger management that they go through. Talk to somebody, because you didn't hit a person for nothing. I don't care how the cut go. You didn't hit that person, or you didn't say that to that person for
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Something went wrong. Something in your damn head clicked. A
Someone.
or the elevator just
Yeah.
didn't go all the way up.
No, it didn't go to the top. Yeah.
So we need to figure
Yeah.
out why the elevator didn't go up. So I think it should be like programs and stuff. I feel like the abuser should have, even with men abusers, even with women abusers, it should be something that you went to jail. Okay, you did this. Let's talk about it now. But you're gonna do time. Well, let's talk about why you did it. So when you get out of jail, we won't have to cross these boundaries no more. We won't have to come across this bridge no more.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it should be, you know, I could be wrong, but I think we all should have a right to know why
Mm-hmm.
he
Yeah.
did what he
Oh,
did.
absolutely. I mean, that's if you're going to be in this long lasting relationship with anybody, I'm not saying that they're going to tell you everything about their life because,
Mm-mm.
they're not. But you don't want to get in a relationship and we didn't settle down and we didn't got married and then come to find out that you are married to a pedophile, rapist, or anything along those lines. You be like, wait a minute, this is not what, because we know it's a lot of, conniving men and women out here that,
Mhm.
try to get over. So, you have to try to know your partner inside and out. I wouldn't say embody, but it's like I want to say embody, that person. So you know
Mhm.
what their next move is going to be because you should know if I do this, the repercussions of me doing this is going to be this and this and this.
Mhm. Like this lady, we was the man my mama was looking at Murray. This lady was married to this man for 3 years and did not know this man was a pedophile. She didn't know because number one, he was supposed to be on the registry. He didn't even register in a state, so that was number one. He didn't even much register. Then number two, he didn't tell her, and number three, probably because they didn't even get to that point. So
So was he
it was
a
important. Like
pedophile, or was it? I mean, I know it's the same, but in my little bit of mind here, when I'm a little older, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple of years older, and I had willing sex with
with a minor.
somebody that was younger, and that was willing. Okay, let me keep saying that. Then I kind of look at, okay, what was the factors of that? Was
Right.
it just because of the age difference? Like,
No, he was actually a pedophile.
okay,
He
that's different.
he
That
he hadn't
that's
even
different.
went to jail, but he never even told. Like he had this whole part of his life. It was like he took. I'm gonna take this page out. I'm gonna take these
Hmm.
couple of
Hmm.
pages out, but I'm gonna show you everything else. He showed her the nice him. He showed her the loving him, and they got into it. And one of the little ladies next door, I think it was the lady next door, came to her to let her know that the her little girl got raped, and people around there started talking about her husband. So she brought him there to the show to do a lie detector because everybody in the community, started looking at her husband because somebody found out about it. And all about 3 years, you've been.
So did he rape that girl?
He surely did. He was found. Steve Steve did a lie detector test. His ass was he raped that little girl, and she put his ass in jail though.
Well, she should have. But my thing is, so how? Okay, maybe I'm just thinking too far into it because how? I mean, you raped her, so the girl didn't know who you were.
Exactly, because it was a teenager. She was a teenager, but I'm still in all she a teenager. She seen you in the neighborhood just like you live next door to her. You
That's what I'm
know,
saying. Like, make that part make sense to
I
me.
guess he figured she not gonna say nothing. She didn't. It was people in the neighborhood.
Okay, I'm struggling to
White
fist with that one.
people.
I mean, this is. I mean, it's fucked up at the end of the day that
It
you're a
is
pedophile.
because she was,
But I'm
she
I'm
was
I'm kind of a little lost with it's the neighbor. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
the neighbor. But
You the
this is
neighbor,
think about it. This is a teenager, so he could have told her, well, if you say something, I'm gonna kill you. If you say
and I
something,
guess that's what I'm looking for
if
is
you say something, I'm gonna kill you.
right.
If you say something, I'm gonna hurt your mama because her mama was a single mama and she worked at night. So he knew all these things. So if you do this, this is the consequence behind it. But you still have some little nosy neighbors in the neighborhood.
Girl, them the
Oh,
best one. Them the best
took it
neighbors,
down
okay?
the street, girl.
Girl,
You know,
them the best neighbors. Cause my mama was one of them. Honey, I couldn't wait to walk in the house because I knew she was about to tell me everybody business.
it's one neighbor.
And she
She
was that one.
and
Can't
she
hear.
see it. Who
You
your
sitting up here talking
mama?
to her, can't hear shit, can't see shit, but she can tell you everything that's going on within that damn community, though.
And that F don't some go by, you can find out. Ask her. And it's funny, like my mama used to say, her mama had my grandma had 7 kids. And my grandma used to tell a lady, my mom said her mama used to tell a lady across the street, she had 8 kids. So how you had time to watch my mama selling it? Cause that's the nosy lady, the neighbor.
Girl, them the best neighbors. Sometimes you be like, okay, go on now. But if I need you, I know I can come over there and say something to you, and you're gonna give me what I need.
And all it takes is hey girl. That's all it takes.
And
Hey.
you just stood there and talked to Marie's ass for 20 minutes.
Hey, Miss
Maybe.
Johnson.
Girl. Girl, let me get on over here because I did put on this meeting. Now, girl, I forgot about it. Let me get back over here before I burn my house down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just crazy. It's I feel like we should have conversations. I feel like we should have conversations with abusers,
Yeah.
to see where things come from. Because everybody come from somewhere. Whether
Mm-hmm.
we like it or not, we come
Mm-hmm.
from somewhere. Some type of dysfunction. Now
I think everybody is dysfunction in
if
their
you have a
own.
peaceful family, hell, something ain't right.
You
I
ain't
feel like I don't want
dysfunction.
that family. Give me a little dysfunction. Just a little, not a lot.
Not a lot, because I think we all have some dysfunction. It's just don't sweep it under the rug when it comes to anything that is crucial.
I mean, I think that's why my mama is the way she is today. My mama tell a child, don't call her Miss Marie. Because it's something you might be trying to tell her and you gotta say Miss Marie. Just call her Marie, because she's like she don't know what you gonna say with that child. My mom, that's a rule. When my mama meet a child, don't call her no Miss Marie. Don't do that. Because like she said, she just never know what that child is coming to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
She just don't know.
That's a good way of looking at it. I ain't think about it like that.
Yeah, because like my mom said, you take a time to say miss. You probably could have been told me something. Somebody did you something, like, yeah, she don't. Like the little boy next door, you say, hey, Miss Marie. And my mama, she just ignored the boy. I'm like, man, you heard Eric calling you. She was like, I told Eric, stop calling me.
Yeah, see.
So, you just never know. So, I mean, I just feel, that was my thought.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
let's
absolutely.
let's have a conversation. Y'all down in the comment, leave us a comment. Let us know how you feel about abusers. Do you think abusers should have a voice? Do you think they should be help?
Right.
I think everybody should. I think
Or should
everybody
they have
should.
their own little state and country so where we know all we send out abusers over there?
Send their asses over there
We're gonna send you over there. You're gonna
on a rowboat.
make it do what it do and have a
On
good
a row
day.
on a rowboat. We're gonna send them
Oh,
on a rowboat. That boat don't go too fast.
right.
Send their asses over there. Let us know in the comment. Do you feel like abusers should have the voice? Do you feel like they should be help?
Hmm.
Leave us a comment. Let us know. Let's talk about this, because this is something that we could talk about. This is we in the day and times we talk about everything these
We
days.
need to talk about everything. We need to.
Yes.
That's the thing. We need to stop. We all know because we was all taught what happens at home stays at home. I guess I'm just gonna say that till damn near I die because we need to stop
Until it
that. We
changes.
need because we have to change that narrative because it's so much shit that's happening at home that does not need to stay at home. And how am I supposed to know that you need help if you don't say anything to
We
me?
got so many little boys and little girls are being fooled with because of that. Whatever happened in my house, stay in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have them little boys and little girls that grow up to big boys and big girls, angry and aggravated with the whole fucking world because they've been holding on to this shit, and now they are ticking time bomb
Mm-hmm.
because they so angry because nobody gave them the voice, nobody gave them the ear to talk, to listen. So they become these big angry goddamn people of the world that we got to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
That I want to beat the shit out of. Cause you
Mm-hmm.
angry. Let that shit go. And you bring that on, like, whatever baggage you in relationship, whatever baggage you have in your closet, you bring that to the relationship. And then when you get in that relationship, that goes some more goddamn baggage you done bring, and you bring in that baggage and that baggage to the next relationship. And now you got this baggage and this baggage. Now you got all that shit you dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get rid of some of that baggage. Let's get rid of it and let's deal with it, because we all deal with our own situation. Because I found that out going to therapy. Like, I went to therapy. Yes, I went and talked to somebody. And people like, you crazy. I ain't crazy. Your ass crazy.
You
Because
crazy if you don't go talk to nobody. You
exactly.
crazy.
I knew I needed to sit down and talk to somebody. And I
Right.
learned that we have baggage. When we take from one relationship, we bring it into the next relationship. We got to unpack that baggage before we start moving on. That's why I don't think it's important when you get out of one relationship, just jump into another one. I think you need time, because you need time to um identify what happened. You need time mentally and physically to deal with what happened. And especially if it's you was in a domestic violence relationship. With any kind of relationship, you gotta unpack all that shit and not bring that shit all to the next relationship like we do rebound relationships. No. Let's deal with our pain. A lot of us don't like to deal with our pain. We gotta set in those moments. I mean, I was in a relationship, and I had a bad breakup. 6 years we broke up. I mean, I was
Mm-hmm.
just working, and just keeping myself busy, not to think about it. And hell, keeping myself busy caused me to be in the hospital with my blood pressure 200 over 100, because I just was holding on to that emotion. We gotta let it go. We can't hold
Yeah.
on to it. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
deal with it and stop being in these rebound relationships, because all you doing is brought that baggage that you left that relationship, you bringing it to your new relationship, and you're so fucking angry and agitated. You don't
Mm-hmm.
create that baggage. Now y'all done broke up. You got some more baggage you're carrying on. Like,
Yep.
let's unpack all of that shit.
Before you get to me. Okay.
Exactly. Now,
Before you
if
get
I
to
find
me.
out you got all that shit, I gotta let you go.
Yeah, because I don't have to, I can't keep loving everybody through what they got going on because ain't nobody loving me through what the fuck I got going on.
Right, and that's the
Feel me?
selfish thing. Come on,
Yeah.
like, nobody don't care about me, so I
Right.
don't want you. I don't care about you. But
Right.
we gotta stop being that way. We really gotta just unpack all our shit and deal with our shit and live in those. I mean, feel those emotions. Let's feel them. I did the video about feeling our emotions. Like, let's feel those emotions. Let's see what they is. It's okay, and it's okay not to be
Oh,
okay
absolutely.
sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
And that's the thing, but we have to accept that within ourselves. It's okay because I'm be honest, I'm struggling with it a little bit. It's okay to be not okay because when
exactly.
you're not at your best, then it's like you feel like you're lacking or you're unable to complete something because you're not at your best.
That's the best. And that's not the truth.
Yeah.
You could still be at your best and still you have not being okay, it's just a date. It's just a feeling at the moment. Like, it's okay. All right, you're not okay today. Cool. Be there. But know that you can't stay there. And that's the problem. Some of us get that I'm not okay and we stay there. Because
Mm-hmm.
I deal with it at times. When I'm not okay, I feel like I just need to live there. I can't live there. I have
Mm-hmm.
to be okay with it at the moment and dust myself off and feel what I feel and get up and
Mm-hmm.
move on and let it go. And there's a lot of that self love. I think self love start with everything. Whether you whether you the abuser, whether you the person that's being abused, all that start with self love. Like that's what it all boils down to. At some point, we all done lost the loving ourselves, and especially as girls, we we put everything before us, and I
Yeah,
guess
we
that's
do.
the way I guess that's the way we was raised as females. Like we supposed to love everybody because we the strong one.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
then as a woman, they always say, "Oh, you're a woman. You're not supposed to be sad. You're a woman. You're not supposed to be this." Hell, I'm supposed to be sad. It's okay for me to be sad
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want me to keep all that shit in, and I'm the ticking time bomb and kill your ass.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I ain't
So
say nothing.
be right and blew up and all our asses.
Just I just ask for you to send me a letter every now and then. Put a couple of dollars so I can get a honey bun or something once a month. Cause that's what. Cause girl, if I don't get
That's
this
what
shit together, I know that's what. Just send me a letter. Let me know you're all right. And put some money so I can get a honey bun. Keep my sugar up. That's all
keep
I'm
a
asking.
little some and keep a
Just a
little
little
money
something,
on your phone so I could call at least once a month.
girl. Something.
Yeah, because that's what happens. Like it's okay for us to be sad. So, ladies,
Yeah.
we didn't forget about y'all on this Friday evening. We just wanted to talk about men.
Hmm.
Men, they go through their own little shit, even though they act like knuckleheads. But believe me, they go through their own shit. And if they will talk about it more, maybe we could all understand each other. But is that reality? Mm-mm. One day.
Hopefully it's this century so I can see it before I go on over to the other side. Yeah.
That's why I said one day we will. And sometimes we have to do that. So ladies, we didn't forget about y'all. We just wanted to talk about our good strong men. You know, they have their own shit. They deal with their own shit. And I mean, hopefully one day a man step up and talk about it, and that'll
Right.
be great because then we could have all these conversations and help some people. I would love to hear about men, not to say that's something negative, but just to see him living his truth that I was in an abusive relationship, or have a man to live in their truth and say I was the abuser.
Right. Right. Hmm.
Just living those truths because that's what we should be living in these days anyway, because we go through so much, like all that fake shit gotta stop. But
It
see,
does.
the thing is, the fake shit is what get the look at and not the real shit. And we gotta, at some point, as people, we gotta stop looking at fake shit and let's really look at some real shit because real
Mhm.
shit going on in the world. So,
And that's the reality.
and period.
Period,
So,
folks.
so that's what we wanted to talk about, ladies. We didn't forget about y'all sisters, but we had to talk about our brothers. So and we hope our brothers watch this and comment. Let's talk about it. Let's have these dialogues because it's important because we
It's an
can't
important conversation so we can, so our society can be better as a whole.
and not have our little young boys that's coming up in this world thinking that my
It's
daddy did
okay.
it. My daddy did it, so it's okay for me to do it. No, it's not okay for you to do it because it
It's
wasn't
not.
okay. It wasn't okay for your
Hmm.
father to do it, but he
Hmm.
did it. So, with that being said, we're gonna end our show. But men, if y'all watching us, let's talk about it. Let's hit. We open to hear your story.
Oh,
Let's
absolutely.
tell your story,
Judge
and
free zone.
judge free. I
Yeah.
might look at you crazy, but I'm gonna listen to you.
I look at everybody, so don't take it.
So, mm-hmm. So that's yeah. Let's talk about it. And we here. Like I say, you can email me at tudormaxrecords@gmail.com, and you can email my fabulous co-host at qualityday1@yahoo.com. So happy Friday. I hope everybody have a great weekend. I'm your girl, Author Erica. I have my fabulous co-host, Author Kim, and y'all have a nice day. But before we go, you have anything before we leave? She just want to look cute today, y'all.
Girl, because I ain't got because I'm trying to keep up the woo woo and girl, I'm just mental, with everything.
So, but I want to say before we go, know that you're not alone. We
Get
here
what she
with you.
says. Yes, we is.
We here with you. We gonna get through these ups and downs together,
We sure
and
will.
in the end, we all gonna have a story to tell.
That
So
part, what she said.
happy Friday, and I'm your girl, Author Africa, and peace out.